Good afternoon, class. We're in our third week of the semester, and you guys are doing very well with submitting your work on time. I did see your discussion polls. I'll provide feedback to those last assignments as soon as I possibly can. So I'll be on the look back for your feedback so we can get our final project submitted and changes effective if needed. So tonight, we're going to talk about Les Vygotsky and his influence on modern day education. As you feel free to take notes, feel free to jot down anything that's important that will stand out to you, that you would think that is on the quiz. Our next quiz will be on next Tuesday night. So feel free to just write it down, whatever you feel. I'll also add this PowerPoint to our Canvas account tonight. Let's get started. So who is Les Vygotsky? Les Vygotsky was a psychologist theory known for his work, very important theory in the 20th century. He was born in 1896 in the western region of Russia in a small city called Orsha. His work began when he was studying to improve his own teaching. Throughout his lifetime, Vygotsky has analyzed language, thoughts, psychology, art, and cognitive development. To this day, Vygotsky's work has been implemented in education and is very important and still used by teachers of today. So, his psychology of education, Vygotsky just believed in social interaction plays a critical role in children's learning. He believed that as children socialize more, they learn more. The more children socialize, the more they know. And we'll find out why as we matriculate throughout this lesson. So Vygotsky, just like I just mentioned, he believed that social interaction is strongly tied with cognitive development. He also believed that language played a role, also cultural factors played a role into the development of a child cognitively. And when we speak cognitively, we're thinking about the mind, how they think, the way they respond, the way your students in your own classroom will respond to different learning things, mastering skills, and all those different things in their mind as a mindset. So social interactions, Vygotsky believed that social interaction plays a very important role in cognitive development. Vygotsky emphasizes that effective learning happens through participation in social activities. Parents, teachers, and all other adults in the learning environment all contribute to this process. They explain, they model, they assist, and more importantly, they provide feedback to students. Peers can also help to collaborate with this, and they enrich the learning experience. Language can be viewed as a verbal expression to the culture. It opens the doors for learners to acquire the knowledge that they already have. So language, social skills are very important throughout the cognitive development of a child. Peers can be known as a collaborator for cognitive development. Adults, teachers such as you, also contribute to the cognitive development of a child. Okay, great. So zone approximate development. Vygotsky developed this theory called zone approximate development. It was very important throughout his theory. This zone represents a learning opportunity where a knowledgeable adult or a knowledgeable other, also known as MKO, more knowledgeable other, can assist the child's development. A child's performing an activity alone attains a certain level of competency. However, having a more knowledgeable other, or such as an adult or a peer, they can help the child achieve that mastery. Scaffolding is something that gives the right amount of assistance and bridge the gaps between learners, current skills level, and desired skill level. Also, if you can see the diagram, you notice the white is what I can't do. The yellow orange color is what I can do with help. And the green color is what I can do basically by myself. We want all our students to be in the green, what I can do by ourselves. Our job as teachers are to basically help students become independent learners. So that's what we are achieving throughout the zone of proximate development. But the zone of proximate development helps students become independent learners. So therefore, in modern day education, so as you as a teacher, what you will do, you will have these things called scaffolding. You'll have to put them in your lesson plans. You'll have to do them throughout your small groups, throughout every day on a daily basis as a teacher. So usually when we scaffold, we have this thing called I do, we do, you do. Some schools require more steps. Some schools have I do, we do, you do with by me watching you, and you do by yourself without me watching. So just a way to make sure that the students have mastered the skill that they need to work independently. So I do usually goes like this: a teacher models, so 2 + 5. If I had 2 + 5, I would show the student directly how to work out the problem, 2 + 5. Some students, if I know my students, I would use counters, where I will put down 2 blocks on one side, 5 blocks on the other side. I will count the 2, I will count the 5. I tell my students all the time, when we add, we always put together. When we subtract, we take away. But in this context, we are putting together. So therefore, we have to count all those blocks together, because 2 + 5 now should give you 7. You are not taking away. Your number will only get bigger when you add. So I will show students directly how to add 2 + 5. Now, we do together is usually when the teacher and the class work together, or the teacher and the student work together. So a student and a teacher can work out the problem 3 + 4. It can go something like this: students, what are my first steps that I should do? Some students will tell you maybe you need to draw 3 dots on one side, 4 dots on the other side. Some students will tell you you may need to put up 3 fingers on one hand, 4 fingers on the other hand, and add them together. Whichever one works for them, because we also know that in math, there are so many strategies to work out one problem. So we will work that problem out together, and we will all come to a common agreement that 3 + 4 = 7. That's another way that you can work it out. You do is usually when the student is working independently. That is usually they have mastered the skill, they know what to do, they know every step to follow. They don't have to require any more assistance, any more help. They can work this problem out by themselves because they have mastered what they know how to do. So 6 + 1, the student should be able to show you how they got that answer, and they should be able to tell you that the correct answer is 7. So that is a way that ZPD is used in modern day education, or Vygotsky's theory is used in modern day education. We would no longer probably hear the term ZPD in modern day education. We will hear the term scaffolding, or what can you do to help, or differentiation. Differentiation is another important term. Same thing, just small steps to meet the big goal. All right, so our next slide, you will sometimes hear about another theory called John Piaget. John Piaget and Vygotsky both focus on cognitive development, and they were somewhat similar in their theories. However, some stuff was different. So John Piaget, his focus was more individual focus, while Vygotsky was more social focus. John Piaget believed that there are a universal stage of cognitive development, meaning that everybody moved in the same stages in the same way through cognitive development. While Vygotsky, he didn't have any stages, he didn't have steps. Vygotsky just believed that cultural factors impacted cognitive development. Also, John Piaget did not give emphasis on learning, while Vygotsky stressed that the role of language in cognitive development is very important. My next thing was my favorite quote by Vygotsky, and it's what a child can do today with assistance, she'll be able to do by herself tomorrow. just like ZPD, the way that you move the child, the goal is for the child to work independently by themselves. All right, and here are my references. Class, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me at this time. If not, or if you want to stay after class to ask me anything about Les Vygotsky, please feel free to do so. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your week.